We're here to celebrate the release. Tell Me That It's Over. Your sophomore album, it's available right now on Apple Music. We're going to be playing your music all hour long and kind of diving deep into the project and giving fans a little peek, behind the door that is Wallows and that whole process.
Yes.
After working on this throughout, I'd say, probably the strangest 2 years that any of us have ever experienced, how does it feel to kind of get to close this chapter and release this thing into the world?
It feels really good. We spent pretty much the entirety of 2021 working on this with our producer Ariel Rekshide.
No big deal, by the way.
No big deal. Yeah, he's just
Ariel,
just a guy. We poured our blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, so it's finally happening.
I love it, man. Obviously, this was very intentional on how you guys wanted to open up this record. But what was the first song and the last song you guys recorded for this album?
That's almost impossible.
Okay, I barely remember for day one.
Day one, track one, Especially You?
We started laying down Especially You.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Last one would have been, it might have been like Permanent Price or something like that.
That's the last one we finished for sure. That and Marvelous were the ones that were closest to the
But Marvelous was day one, so.
Yeah, we started Marvelous day one. It was one of the last ones we
You guys started Marvelous the first day that you went in to make the record?
Yeah, I think we started Especially You, Marvelous, That's What I Get, and
Hard to
Missing
Believe.
Out.
All in the same day?
Yeah.
That's where we started off, but they changed a lot from day one, like quite a bit. So,
but yeah, that was day one.
But the fact that those 4 or 5 songs all ended up on the record in one session that you got that start, that's pretty impressive.
Remember the first batch that we sent to the label of Rough Things was Hard to Believe, Missing Out, That's What I Get.
Especially You.
It was Especially You as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the reaction at first was like, I don't know, but I think it's because those were we started with more experimental tracks on the album, and but then I think the next batch had more sort of singly sounding songs, and was like, okay, you guys are doing your job, I guess. But
carry on.
Carry on.
Yeah.
Gotta keep them on
trust
their
us,
toes.
guys. Trust us.
Well, that trust paid off. I want to get to the second song on the album, and if you saw the latest Scream film, you definitely heard this one in the end credits. Can you tell us how that came to be? It's almost like you're in the movie or something.
Yeah, I know the guys.
Really weird.
Yes, I was in Scream, and they're all very supportive people, directors, cast. They're all big Wallows fans, and they but the directors are Tyler and Matt. They basically were like, we're looking for a place for a song in this part in the credits in the movie, and are there any new songs from you guys, or any songs in general? Would you want to put one in the movie? And then I sent them the only working songs we had at the time, which were I Don't Want to Talk, At the End of the Day, and Especially You. And they thought that I Don't Want to Talk sounded best for the credits. And I think it works really well. And actually, originally it was for a part in the movie during a party scene, and I think it just wasn't we didn't have enough teenage party vibe song. They have Guilty Conscience, 070 Shake in there, and it's awesome. But yeah, so it was just they asked, and we were down, obviously. And but what's funny is that the version in the movie is different from the album version, because at the time we had a different mix of that song, and that's what was finished, and that's what we gave, and we ended up remixing it later with a different mixer. So it's funny, now that it's out on streaming, I feel like people can, if they want to compare, they can, because they are different mixes.
It's pretty different.
Yeah.
It's a lot different.
In the movie theater, might not be able to tell, but I actually think I saw one person online that was like, it sounded different. I was like, good ear.
Oops.
Good ear.
Uh-oh.
I love it. What's crazy is that I feel like the last time y'all were on the show, you were in New Mexico filming that, right? Where were you shooting?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
But you were in your hotel room.
Right, we did talk there, huh?
Yeah.
For remote.
Uh-huh.
For the Modi
Wow.
video.
Oh, wow.
Or, yeah, because that was coming out around that time.
Crazy.
I got back the day remote came out, I think.
Oh, that's right.
And we saw LeBron James that day.
Did you?
We saw LeBron
We did.
James.
What happened with LeBron? He's a huge wall. What happened?
He was following us around.
It's just a random thing. He was at the same restaurant we went to celebrate, and we were like, whoa. LeBron and AD were there, and I got to say to them, congratulations on winning the championship. And he said, what did he say? Something like,
He's like, I appreciate you.
He's like, I appreciate you. And I was like, thank you. That's so cool.
Braden is underplaying it. Braden was like,
I was freaking
crying. There were tears in his eyes. Definitely.
I was very, very happy.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the fourth track, At the End of the Day. What inspired this one? What was it like when you guys were in the room for this? Was this one of those first 5 that you guys started all on day one?
No.
No.
Well, we started messing around with it pretty early on.
Yeah, maybe day 3.
Yeah.
day 3 or 4. But no, this
I
song,
feel like you guys wrote this record in like 5 days. It's just like, you wrote a bulk of it.
it's kind of an amalgam of 2 years, but
Yeah.
this song was just. I remember I was listening to Harvest Moon, the Neil Young album. I think I can say that's Apple Music. But no, I was listening to that the night before, and the song was just basically kind of like a Harvest Moon style song, in my opinion, like when I was writing it. And then Cole and I were there because Dylan was, I think, like filming Scream, or just kidding, no, he was doing something, filming something. So he was somewhere. And anyway, just Cole and I were writing the song with these 2 other very talented people who were there like to help us because we were in like a studio. So it was before Ariel, just like writing vibes. And the song just really quickly happened. And then we forgot about it. One day Dylan heard it when we were prepping the album, and he was like, what is this? I've never even heard this song before. And we're like, oh, we just kind of forgot about it. And he's like, that has to be on the album. And then he was right, because it's like my favorite song, one of my favorites on the album.
I just had this feeling. I was like, you guys are crazy that you never sent this to me. I was like, why have I never heard this song?
Yeah.
I just had a feeling about it, and it's weird. It's not like I had a feeling. I had the same feeling when I heard it that I had when I first heard Cole's initial demo of Are You Bored Yet? And it's not that the gut feeling that I had was like, oh, this is going to be a big song. It was just like, I know this song is good. And I knew Are You Bored Yet was good when I heard it as well. And that one worked out for us. So I feel like, and at the end of the day, our fans have had a really amazing reaction to that song so far. And I think we all knew in our hearts this whole time that was like one of the like real focal points of this album for us was that song. I think we really all care about that song a lot.
That was Hurts Me by my guests all hour long. Wallows, you got to give me the story behind that song right there, Hurts Me.
Okay, so Hurts Me. Cole and I were going to demo our song Drunk on Halloween for all those, the deep cuts, the deep cut fans. But I don't even know what I was saying. We were gonna demo that song, which was released in 2018. But right before that, we were like, let's just try to make an idea. So we made a 30-second bit of music that was not anything like Hurts Me Now, but it was Hurts Me. Basically just the melodies. And it kind of had like a Frank Ocean blonde kind of music to it. And we were like, we love that idea, but we never knew what to do with it. And then we started making the album, and we knew Hurts Me to be on it. We made a longer demo with the same vibe. And basically, Ariel just flipped it on its head and made it like a pop 80s pop anthem kind of sounding song, kind of like a modern 80s pop song, which doesn't make sense, but I think it makes sense. And basically that song, I don't know, it's one of my favorite songs. It's very honest lyrics, which I like. And I like the melodies because they're kind of like off the cuff. When I just first started singing it, didn't have any thought into it at all, which is usually the best kind of melodies. And I don't know, I just feel like it's going to be a good live song. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, when it started, it was definitely sad, dreamy lyrics, sad, dreamy song. And then now with Ariel, the version we landed on is sad, dreamy lyrics, but like very happy, upbeat, totally, what's the word? Juxtaposition.
I love
Yes.
that. Well, let's get to the last song on the album, Guitar Romantic Search Adventure. I love the title. You know what it feels like? It feels like when you guys are like sitting down, you might be at Ariel's studio, you guys are about to like write a song, and you just open up a session and just write the first 4 words that come to mind to save it.
It's funny, we actually had a debate of whether we should like shorten it, call it Guitar Romantic or GRSA or something like that. And I think we were just like, nah, let's keep it the whimsical sounding title. I came up with the title. It was I didn't really come up with it, I guess. I would say that Lydia, my girlfriend, did. We sort of, it is about the beginnings of my current girlfriend and I when we first started talking, and we bonded. She showed me this album by the Exploding Hearts called Guitar Romantic. I don't know if you're aware of that album, but Exploding Hearts are a band that they had one record in 2002 called Guitar Romantic. It's amazing. Super promising, exciting band at that time, and they all, or majority of them, passed away in a van accident on their tour. Really tragic, but kind of amazing story, surrounding that album. And I fell in love with it right away, and that story, like, it just resonated with me, and we bonded over it. And so, and it's like they don't even press that vinyl anymore. So it was how we were referencing finding that album was like, I think she had said like Guitar Romantic Search Adventure or something, and I was just joking around, and then I don't know, I just kind of stuck with me. And when I started writing about that song, I was like, this is the only thing I can call this song, because that's what reminds me of that time, is that little phrase. And and the song directly references that album and a certain song on it called "I'm a Pretender," and that should definitely make whatever playlist we're talking about as well, as "I'm a Pretender"
true.
by the Exploding Hearts. That's the backstory behind that title, and I managed to fit it into a line too. It's just I say it in a lyric too. Yeah, on the surface, it's nonsense.
I love it, man. I mean, just you kind of taking us, through that whole thing. Makes so much sense. It's
Yeah.
fucking awesome. I mean, you boys put the album out. You're going on tour. You're playing Coachella. What else can we expect from you the rest of 2022? You guys got a stacked year as it is already.
I think maybe new music.
You're lying.
I'm serious.
If
New music?
anyone else said it, I'd be like, no way. But you guys, I do not doubt it.
I think new music and what else?
Yeah, we're already thinking albums 3, 4, and 5 are coming out this year.
Okay, cool.
No,
Send it to me. We'll
yeah.
sit down.
Yes.
You guys will be my third in studio guest.
Yeah.
Third, fourth, and fifth.
There we go.
So
We do want to put more music out this year. Things that we, if we can manage to finish them, things that we started during the album.